tell us about your journey, changing looking into criminal law, right? And then how you changed after. Like, what was that path and
Yeah,
your mindset and what were your influences as well, saying like, no, like that's not for you and going different places. Because people feel like they're locked in when they have a major, right? They're like,
yeah.
I need to do this, and this is, a lot of anxiety.
I think it got to a point where I was realizing like, hey, I don't like sitting idle-handedly, and I do appreciate college and everything, and it works for people. And I do enjoy that I went to like such a great university. Like honestly, shout out to the Gators because I really couldn't have ended up anywhere else better in the world, right? But I think that after I graduated and just kind of slowed down and thought about, I've always been an ideas person, like a dream person. I know that, and I'm sure honestly, I probably could if I really put my mind to it, just going to law school and then start trying to pursue it. But it's like, hey, I have a year's time, and I started dipping my hands into a little bit of things that I'm doing now. So I'm glad that I actually like ventured out and didn't just go back. And and who knows how the cards may fall. I can't complain, but yeah, that's just really where it stands.
Yeah, and so when you took that gap year, right, after you graduated, right, what were some of the conversations you were having with friends, family, and maybe even internally yourself, right? Like it's kind of a weird risk, right? You see all your friends going in like
Yeah,
different ways, what is
yeah.
that? Take us through that and like what were you feeling and that whole experience of deciding to go through the gap year?
I'll say this. A lot of people graduated like these past few weekends. Congrats to all the graduates. That's so awesome. Seeing
Yeah.
people become doctors and lawyers and physicians and even teachers and everything.
Right.
People are doing great stuff. So shout out to all the graduates. But I think after I graduated, it got to a point where I was like, okay, I have my degree. Still have like this path laid out. I still have that option. But I was working at Walgreens at the time, and that's what it was. And I just felt I don't know, I just felt like I was just wasting my time. I feel like I worked at Walgreens for like 5 years all the way throughout the college. So, and I moved around from everywhere. Like I started out in cashier, and I went to photo lab and got certified to be a photo tech, and went to pharmacy. So
Wow.
I was always like progressing towards something, but I just feel like, hey, like I gotta make some more money. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting older. Like I'm a graduate now. I didn't my long term plan wasn't to stay in Gainesville, so it's like I gotta do something. And I remember, like I said, I love my Gators, man. I had season tickets too one year, like, and I'd work Walgreens during the summer the whole time. I was working 5 a.m. sometimes. I took all the shifts when people called out. I didn't
Mm.
complain, and had a misspat with a member of scheduling about me having the weekends off because I already had season tickets. And long story short, I was like, well, hey, like if y'all can't accommodate that, I'm just gonna put in my 2 weeks because something's got to give. Like I gave y'all months warning, like something's got to give, right? And they were like, hey, well, effective immediately, you don't have any more shifts. And I was like, you know what? All right. And I wanted to walk out. I was so mad, but the manager I was working with that night was really cool, and I wasn't gonna just screw her. I was like, hey, I'll finish out the shift and we'll go from there. But for like a month and a half, man, uh I was just idle handed, and you're just now I'm like, dude, I gotta work. I had some little bit of reserve money to have, but it's like I don't have anything coming in right now. So like something's gotta give. So I started casting a net, and that's how I got involved in my job with insurance. Like I said, always like numbers and just the language I can understand. And I started out doing operations data processor, and it was all numbers, procedures, just a lot of interesting stuff. And once I got a little taste of like what I could do and all the stuff I could do, even within the company, I said, okay, well, cool. Let me try and map out what I want to do with the company and just start casting, some that's like I've been on like a commercial for the company. Like I've like,
Nice.
it's just like it's awesome. It's awesome. When the opportunity they sent an email and I was like, absolutely, I'll try. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. But
Famous, man.
I want to see the commercial. I haven't seen it on TV yet. So when I see it on TV, I'll know. But I I realized like, okay, this I can make my living with this, and what else do I want to do now? It's like I know this will pay all of my bills for whatever I need to do, all of my stuff in the pot, it'll pay all that. Like but I need some more and to try and get something that I can automate. And that's how it kicked in high gear. And then COVID happened, and it's like, well, hey, like you can't really do anything. You're just at home all day anyways. So it's like, all right, it's time to do some real work, and get right. And that's what that transition really was. So